Alrighty guys, we're back for a big red artifact combo, and this is a Murders at Karlov Manor standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments. So, thank you so much for the suggestion, it's gonna be a fun one. It was essentially to play Crime Novelist with cards like Strongbull here, but I'm only opting for one Strongbull because I actually think Food Fight is gonna be the better option for this build. So what the heck are these cards, huh? Well, Crime Novelist is a 3-mana 1/3, and whenever you sacrifice an artifact, you put a +1/+1 counter on Crime Novelist, and you add 1 red mana. Oh, hey, that's actually a pretty good ability, huh? So naturally, that's going to pair nicely with that Strongbull. It's a 3-mana 2/3. For 1 mana, you sacrifice an artifact. It gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Nice. So Food Fight is a 2-mana enchantment. Artifacts you control have 2 mana. Sacrifice this artifact. It deals damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of permanents named Food Fight you control. Okay, so that could actually be a hefty sum of damage, especially if you're popping off multiple artifacts on the same turn with 2 to 3 Food Fights on the board too. That could be pretty wild. Especially if Crime Novelist is paying you back all that extra mana to actually allowing you to pop off. Okay, so that's kind of like the main card combos, but as you can see, how the heck are we going to get artifacts onto the board? Well, we have a lot of artifacts packed in, like Mishra's Research Desk. We have all 4 Candy Trails as well. When you got that combo style deck, the Scry 2 should come in handy, but also the life gain and the draw, everything about Candy Trail should be pretty good for this one. A little bit of ramp with Irencrag, a little bit of ramp with Celestus as well. Sir Ginger should work well with all this like sacrificing artifact themes going on. We have Charming Scoundrel, a nice little hasty creature that'll come in handy, and we'll go over why in just a second. But also this creates that treasure token, which of course works well with the whole artifact theme too. Ognis, the Dragon's Lash, making an appearance once again. It's a 4-mana, 3/3, rocking that haste. It is in fact a legendary creature. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, you create a tapped treasure token. Okay, so this is the way to just go ahead and poop a whole bunch of artifacts onto the board. I don't know why I got to say it like that, but yeah, no, all those extra treasure tokens, especially if you are able to keep Ognis around long enough, maybe drop like a burn down the house on the devil's side. All those devils get that haste, and then you get a whole bunch of treasure tokens. Same concept with Skitterbeam Battalion. It has that prototype for just 5 mana. It's a 2/2 trample haste. Create 2 tokens that are copies of it as well. It's going to pair really, really nicely with that Ognis. Also another top end artifact here, Magmatic Galleon, just opting for more removal, more ways to potentially get extra treasure tokens too, or generate extra treasure tokens every time you ping something. With Food Fight as well, because whenever one or more creatures your opponents control are dealt excess non-combat damage, you create a treasure token. So that could be pretty cool, huh? 26 total mana. We got a couple Mirrex, a couple Mishra's Foundries. We got a Field of Ruin and a Crucible of Defiance. Some honorable mentions over here as well for the Hood's End, because early board wipes seems pretty important right now in the current meta, right? I thought about big score for this list. Of course, those extra treasure tokens would go that extra mile, and then Mightstone Weakstone also almost made the cut. Okay, guys, trying to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, and maybe we'll make some changes to the list before going ahead and posting it to Aether Hub as well, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be super janky, man, but I played some test matches and I was pleasantly surprised with how effective everything was. So we'll see. We go first. Orland, this should be fine, right? A little bit of filtering on the Scoundrel, potentially. We got that Scry on turn 1. Yeah, this is totally keepable. As a aggro player, I saw the 4 land and I was pretty hesitant. Oh my. Should I keep one just in case? What if we never see the 5th mana for the rest of the game? Nah, we should be fine. Plus, if we don't, like, we could always go treasure on the Scoundrel too. Yeah, we'll send those mountains. It's another mountain. Huh. Well, I'm probably just going to go... Well, no, I'll go Scoundrel, I guess. Do I go Treasure? Yeah, stick to the plan, right? Let's get artifacts onto the board. We'll stick to the concept of eventually we'll have the combo and we'll want all these extra artifacts and everything. Okay, I mean, Thalya's probably worth taking out, right? On our turn, because they might have protection on their turn. We'll keep this all open. We don't have to swing with our 1/1. Totally fine. All human. Adeline comes down. Oh, buddy. So before the swing, we're going to go ahead and Voltage Surge. Limit 0. That way they don't get the 1/1 for the Adeline. Okay, passes back. It's going to be more mana, actually. Well, we could totally drop that Skitterbeam Battalion, but I don't want to lose this treasure token to something so silly. But at the same time, 4 would get through. They only have to block into one of them. Maybe that's not that bad. Now, let's start with the draw on the Candy Trail. See if we can see something a little bit better here. It's more mana, guys. Oh, no. I don't mind seeing the mana, but, like, that's a lot. There's 2 on the bottom, too. So that's 9. That's 9 mountains. In the top 11 cards? Really? Okay, so what else is this Charming Scoundrel going to do? We're going to save Scoundrel one more turn to block a chunkier Adeline. How about that? Sir Ginger, all right, we got something we could play. Of course, we could always play that Skitterbeam Battalion, but at this point, we might as well save up for 9 mana. Looks like we might actually get there, huh? All right, Sir Ginger. That's totally fine. It blocks a little better, but nothing on the opponent's board effectively. Yeah, we'll just awkwardly pass it back. It feels weird not playing the 5 mana Skitterbeam because, like, you know, dumping a bunch of 2/2s on the board. For example, it effectively lets us double block the Adeline well. Okay, Brutal Cathar number 1. Picks up the Sir Ginger. Not a whole lot we can do about that. And now we'll chump the chunkier Adeline as promised. Oh, okay. Dude, I don't know what I was expecting there, but they looked at my treasure token, and I thought it was a goner. It's just another mountain, guys. Oh, no. We might actually want to save for 9. Nah, that would take too long. Well, we have 6 right now. We have the 9 total. But we should probably play it, huh? Because we'll die in no time at this point. Especially with the double Vanguards in hand. Wow. Wait, I want to count this here. 1 second, opponent. I want to count this again. We got 5 mountains on the board. 3 here. That's 8 total. Yeah, I didn't miscount earlier. That is 10 total mountains in the top 13 cards. Huh. Okay. Well, Skitterbeam Battalion. It's too bad that isn't the burn down the house, huh? And now we just keep it all back as blockers because we are in danger, bro. Vanguard number 1 and Vanguard number 2 full swing. No doubt in my mind this is a full swing. Oh. Holding back. Gives us some double blocks. Oh, wait. I guess it doesn't effectively give us double blocks. We'll take the 6 here. Taking 10 down to 9. Keep the 2. The 2/2 for what? Maybe I should chump. Because right now our only hope is actually finding one of those board wipes. Seeing a burn down the house. Okay, taking 4 down to 15. Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, we have to expect a mountain off the top, I suppose. I think the chump onto the Knight Errant is totally fine. Speaking of Knight Errant, it is another Knight Errant of Eos from the opponent. Beautiful lineup overall. Another Lunarch veteran. Oh. Guys, burn down the house off the top. Holy cow, dude. Okay, then. I guess we're back in this for some reason. Opponent, I'm so sorry. I mean, they still have a lot more cards, but now I guess it's anyone's game. Another Adeline, very nice. Restocking the board beautifully here. That was a brutal top deck. Holy cow. Crucible of Defiance. Okay. Well, at least it's not another mountain. Got all the mana we need for quite some time. Want to save Crucible for their turn, of course. See what we can actually hit over there. And at this point, we might want to buff the Surge Injure. Let's see what they end up doing first. No attacks. Yeah, we might want to sacrifice that treasure token just to buff the Surge Injure to a 4/2 and actually trade properly. Oh, Spellbook Vendor. Yeah, we won't actually get to trade properly. Spellbook Vendor is an excellent addition to humans, huh? Pass to combat. We could double block into Adeline. That could work. Now that it's a 4/5, right? See what else they end up doing here. Okay, extra life gain. They're up to 28. They get that scry as well. Alright, so we'll go Crucible. I suppose we should take out the Adeline since it's going to be a lot of value, right? I should have used the... I mean, we have so much extra mana, but yeah. Food fight! It's too late, buddy. It's too late. I don't know what we want to see, but it's not you. It's too late. We're on the run. Even after a beautiful board wipe, too. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we double block you, and we might as well take out the 1/1 as well, right? And we don't want to sacrifice the Surge Injure. Although the life gain was tempting, we actually want that damage to go through and take care of that Adeline. Crime Novelist. Oh my goodness, the way we're seeing everything out of order. Like everything out of crazy order here. Just too much land early on, which I suppose we're going to want to think about a little bit. They're taking a second to set up here. They found a third Adeline, dude. Yeah. All right, double Crime Novelist is really good. Now we just need to see our other stuff. Like I said, really bad order of things, huh? Because we already did all the sacrificing of our artifacts early on just to do our dandiest to survive a little bit. Spellbook Vendor, gonna buff. Oh, Knight Errant. Okay, wow. And Knight Errant goes and restocks their hand once again, showing the resilience of humans. Ooh, Skrelv. Nice. Good hit. They're stocked back up. Food fight. It's really funny. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have sent that other one, huh? Maybe this actually could have been really good. Right now, we're just stuck top decking while the opponent just completely reestablishes everything that they need. But yeah, like the Skitterbeam Battalion, that was 3 artifacts that would have been really powerful with the Crime Novelist setup with the food fight here. One of the main issues with a combo deck like this, right? Takes a lot of setup. So I wonder how many turns we can survive to actually see some more. They're going for it, dude. They're like, hey, I'm feeling pretty safe right now. We do have 4 burn down the house, so we should probably double block the Spell Vendor, right? We're losing a Crime Novelist. A pretty good value. Extra scry. I think that's better than the officer, right? I think that's a good double block. That should be okay. The opponent's at 35. We're almost there, guys. Mirrex, let's go. Okay, we got our artifact. So we can do 2 damage to something, and that would be the Vanguard. They do have that. Ah, man. Tough business, huh? We can't let that Skrelv untap, unfortunately, so we should do it now. And I don't want to hit the Skrelv. on their turn. I want to hit the Vanguard for 2 now. All right. It's a good hit. Now that Mirrex is on the board, we'll be able to generate artifacts every turn. One of those things, like all those turns where we had all that open mana too, had we had Mirrex already, maybe we could have been dumping a whole bunch of artifacts throughout this game to try to reestablish something, kind of showing why we got that double Mirrex in the mana base. Oh, it's nighttime too. That's funny. Let's see. We're at 7. So we're dead no matter what, unfortunately, huh? Good game, opponent. Oh, you can see my test matches up there. Yep, I believe it was the exact same version of the deck. So 1 test match was a loss, 1 test match was a win. Both of them impressed me with what the deck was able to pull off. That match, on the other hand, we just stuck it out for fun, man. I don't know what the deck was doing there. That was silly, silly stuff. But let's keep the ball rolling and see if we could see less mountains early on, because wow, we saw things in a crazy order there, huh? Opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Oh, buddy. Oh. There it is, guys. There it is. I wonder if we can do the turn 3 Ognis without worry. I doubt it, because standard being standard, right? There's just so much removal all the time. And when it's not spot removal, it is in fact board wipes. Either way, turn 1 Candy Trail never feels bad, dude. Scry 2 is just like good. Am I crazy? Ever since Candy Trail came out, it's just like one of those cards. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. Okay, unfortunately, the opponent did not show up, so we'll see. We'll play out the turn and see what happens. In the meantime, I guess... Oh! Almost forgot to scry here. I was looking down at my pause button and everything. I was going to continue to pause until the opponent arrived. Definitely want that Crime Novelist. Don't mind seeing more land. But as far as that last game goes, I feel like I should send the land, huh? Also, we don't know if the opponent's actually going to arrive here, so we'll see, we'll see. In the meantime, I will continuously pause, just in case. Don't want to waste your guys' time. Well, GG opponent. Unfortunately, the opponent didn't show up for what was an incredible hand, dude. Look at this lineup, huh? I don't know if I was going to opt for ramp on the Irencrag or go right into food fight, just getting that on the board, getting that set up, right? Either way, Crime Novelist on 3 if we didn't want the ramp on Irencrag into Ognis on 3, right? So it was turn 1 Candy Trail, turn 2 food fight, turn 3 Crime Novelist. Like, as far as combo decks go, we're very happy by that line of play, you know what I mean? That's unfortunate. I would have loved to play that one out. Well, if I remember, when I go ahead and put this up for, like, in the description, right, we have timestamps, and at the bottom of the video we got chapters and whatnot too. If I remember, I'll try to put, like, test hand or sample hand there next to whatever game it was. So all right, well, we'll see if we can get right into the next one here. I would not doubt if that opponent had just froze, right? I feel like in the last month or so we've been seeing a lot of freezing. Here we go. We found the next opponent. Opponent, bring something to the table. That's all I ask. Let's do this, huh? Let's play some Magic. Okay. We can't complain about this hand, right? We keep this. We can complain that it doesn't look as fun as the last hand, though. Oh, no. I mean, hey, I said bring something to the table, huh? We are likely on the run right away, so we'll see what ends up happening. Start with that Candy Trail, of course. Candy Trail, Scoundrel. I don't mind Candy Trail number 2 for some reason. I mind Scoundrel number 2. I guess like the life gain on the Candy Trail is appealing to me as we gain life, draw 1 step closer to... Yeah, well, I guess we could have scried to the bottom if we want to drop, if we want to draw 1 step closer to our like board wipe, right? Okay, play with fire. Good turn 2 for the opponent. Solid extra damage. We take our whole turn 2 just to set up more candy trails instead of blockers. A chump blocker against mono red doesn't work too well anymore, as Monstrous Rage is a deadly card that is always a thing, right? Like every time you think you're playing around a Monstrous Rage, it's because you are playing around one. Alright, we'll take the turn to set up and hopefully we just don't like die. Which I suppose is possible, huh? Okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. Right. Is Celestus a thing that we want? Next turn we play Celestus and then Scoundrel because we have Irencrag Celestus. Is that a thing that we want? Probably, well, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure we're going to die in the next couple turns. Sending Celestus to the bottom, like, if we get one step closer to, like, burn down the house, I'm not sure it matters too much. Because I think when we would end up dying is... Huh. That was the opponent's turn 3, huh? Oh. Okay. I mean, I'm okay with this. Looks like they had a slow turn. So Charming Scoundrel, filtering out that mountain wouldn't be terrible now that we have the 5. Also just like Candy Trail to draw. Scoundrel to be able to block, filter out the mountain, see again like one step closer to a potential board wipe. Treasure token would be 1, 2, that would be 6 on the board. Extra. No. We'll drop the mountain. Ognis, okay, cool. Ognis blocks the Swiss Spear relatively okay, but so does an onslaught of Skitterbeam Battalions too, so. Calls human on Cavern. Crucible Defiance, huh? We'll actually trade into one of those. Take 3 down to 8. For some reason, the opponent's deck is acting a little silly. Okay, which one do we want to get rid of here? I want all of those. Game, just let me keep all of those instead. My apologies, opponent. I actually have to think about this. Is it the Ognis that we ditch here? Ognis blocks the best, but it's 1 creature for 4 instead of 3 creatures for 5 with the Skitterbeam, and then eventually starting to clean up with the food fight. We can actually start cleaning up with food fight this turn. Okay, unfortunately it's Ognis. Let's see our main draw too. Crucible, okay. Okay, we could actually draw off of Candy Trail first too. Because then we could always play 1, 2, 3. Food fight, wow. Okay. I mean, what if we just like, if we go Crucible? Food fight, we have 2 open. And we sacrifice Candy Trail. Oh, no. Is that what I want to do? No, I'd rather draw off of Candy Trail again, right? We'll do that on their turn. That'll bring us up to 15, and I think we survive. Okay. That was all relatively risky. Like, the last 3 turns were all really risky, because at any point, mono red can just absolutely pop off. But for some reason, the opponent's deck is being silly, and it slowed them down significantly, I would say. Not having anything great with these Swiss Spears for like 2 turns in a row. No Godric play, like, I wonder what's in their hand at this point. Goblin. Goblin? Human goblin. Okay. So, taking 3. Wow. Nothing for the prowess on the Swiss Spears again. We're going back up. Actually, yeah. Yeah, we want to gain 3 and draw. I know the food fight's cool and all, but... burn down the house. Burn down the house. Wow. Dude, I don't even know anymore. I was going to say, like, food fight start popping some of these, then we're getting rid of some of our ramp. But at this point now it's just like, now it's burned down the house, right? We could also just go devils. Nah, we'll do that on the other one. Yeah, we should wipe that board. I feel like we're getting very lucky. That mono red has hit a hurdle or something. I really want to look at the opponent's hand. It's a mountain. Maybe it's just a bunch of land. Maybe. Okay, they tap that with the cavern. This is a braid, not my Celestus. How dare. All right, mountain. Well, at this point, right, we're going to just start slamming the battalion through, I think. Because we want to save the other one as a potential board wipe for now until we have lethal on the board. Which will be in no time at this point. If all the battalions survive, that's another 6 down to 8. Maybe we would just play burn. Or we would just use the food fight, right? Maybe we start with the swing. Oh! And end the festivities. Huh. Oh, Crime Novelist. Dude, what's up, buddy? Okay, Crime Novelist could be fun too. The food fight. I want everything. I really don't want the opponent to concede here, because now that we have Crime Novelist, we could try to do some fun things. I guess realistically, though, it would be food fight number 2. We have 2 open to hit 1 plus. Oh, that's only 6 damage, actually. Okay, well, I'll take the turn for fun then. Let's do this. So now, when we sacrifice you, we'll get an extra one. We can do that once. So I'm just gonna like... Hold on. Hold on, I'll try to think of the best way to do this. Choose any target, and then we get 1 back, and then we have the 2 for food fight. Down to 6. Play food fight number 2. There we go. Yeah, dude. Mono red must have gotten incredibly unlucky there. So I wonder if they had a little bit of a better lineup with these double swift spears and everything. I wonder how low we would... I mean, we probably would have died, right? Probably. And look at all this mana, too. Oh, Codebreaker. You know what? They could win. They do. They still have 4 mana open, guys. They could totally win here. What would it be? They'd need to give Trample to the Codebreaker, first of all. So, Monstrous Rage. We're at 11. And that would use 1 of their manas. Oh, Expedited Inheritance. We haven't played with this one yet. They go ahead and swing. We just go ahead and say no blocks, because I don't think this 2 mana can be 8. Yeah. It is going to be a Monstrous Rage, though. That would have been the trample, and they would have needed to get... If we were concerned about dying there, then we would have blocked with the Novelist, and so they would have needed to get over that 4 butt, too. So that would have been a lot more trample that needed to get through. GG opponent. I wonder if they'll let us play this out. What I want to do is I want to sacrifice the artifacts for the food fight, of course. The Cavern of Souls calling human and the Goblin. The Goblin was surprising. Actually, a lot of things in this match was surprising, huh? So, for the inheritance here, it's whenever a creature is dealt damage, its controller may exile that many cards from the top of their library. They may play those cards until the end of their next turn. So that includes the opponents as well. Interesting. I don't know where I would want this card the most. You know what I mean? Guys, is the opponent there? Opponent. Opponent, let me sacrifice an artifact. Just real quick, buddy. Just real quick. Okay, we'll go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. Okay, the opponent is at the end of their final timer here. I mean, oh, it didn't even pass back. It wasn't gonna let me play that out. Well, I'm a little upset now. I really wanted to sacrifice one of those artifacts. Well, hey, GG, buddy. GG. I mean, you know, 7 mana over here, 7 land out of their 10 land red deck wins. Now, who knows how much land they actually had, but they definitely got unlucky. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. The big question that I'm having is, if they actually got more lucky, where would we have actually been in that match? Like, would we have had any chance? We probably would have had to take a little bit less risky lines of play, right? And then maybe, I mean, honestly, you never know. And like the extra life gain on the candy trail and everything too. It'd be interesting to go up against mono red again, but I also just kind of want to see more too. A little bit more variety. Okay, early removal, late board wipe. I like it. We go first this time too. Theater, okay. We've been seeing some very specific like teamer ramp builds the last like week or so, maybe 2 weeks at this point. So we'll see if that's what we're up against. Okay, nothing for turn 2. We're gonna go right into that Celestus on turn 3, as long as we don't feel that it's gonna get countered. It might. Okay. Archaeologist. Voltage Surge doesn't even hit that. Aftermath. Ill-timed explosion. I think grab a memory deluge, huh? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for ramp. Over novelist especially. Voltage Surge is in fact open, but I don't want to sacrifice Celestus just to do 4 damage to something that is no threat right now. With 1 Aftermath Analyst in the grave, are there any other cards that help bring back the lands from the grave? Yeah, there's actually a couple, right? Can't remember right now though. Got 2 mana open. We're definitely gonna take this action. Land. I don't mind land, but is that? No, we probably still send the land, right? With 26 in here, we just want to make sure we see as much as possible. Food fight. All right, dude. Now we're talking. 2 open, playing around and make disappear. Start with that Crime Novelist. It lands. Okay, now we can set up with Food Fight, or we can have Food Fight as a surprise and just go Scoundrel into Treasure. Try to get more artifacts onto this board. And then at that point, I'll tell you what, dude, Ognis would be pretty sick. We could play Food Fight. We could. Because you can tap the treasure for a red, get another red off of the novelist. I feel like it's just much better to just have that as an artifact on the board, especially when it does appear that we are struggling. I'll take that action and maybe ditch that Voltage Surge now. Oh, heck yeah. Voltage Surge does not belong in this hand anymore. Candy Trail's much better. I wonder what we could scry on top. I'm thinking about that Ognis. They go Memory Deluge on their turn. They really need a green source, huh? Yeah, Theater couldn't search for the green source. So Memory Deluge hopefully finds them one. All right. Passes it back. They're tapped out, dude. Let's have a field day. Let's have a field day and pop off for our last game. You have to discard. Oh, no. Not seeing that green, huh? So I think we start with Candy Trail and see if we can see that Ognis, because we could potentially... Okay, another Candy Trail. Another, like, mana's not bad too. Because we could we could draw. How do we want to do this? So we put mountain on top to make sure we play a land for the turn. And we start with Candy Trail's ability, right? Which will give us another red source off the Novelist. We want to be able to swing with the chunky Novelist for the turn too, right? Now we have that extra red source. To, I guess like extra treasure token is still pretty good, right? And then we do have food fight for the turn. 2 on the treasure. We could sacrifice the other treasure. That does 2. Or we could just do this, like this, right? That buffs the Novelist there. A little silly. Like, we really don't mind the Candy Trail in this, with this board state at all, huh? So now we full swing and see where they end up blocking. It's actually pretty wild. If they block Scoundrel... Okay, they decide to just go for the chump, actually. We could just go ahead and keep all this open then. Without too many worries, I would say. Well, worries, right? Like, they could drop ill-timed explosion and wipe the board, but you guys kind of know what I mean. So Broker's Hideout, that does search for a green. There they go. It's going to be tapped, but still. Okay, yep, I'm just going to keep everything. Totally fine. Take that action, but we know it's on top, so we're actually going to decline because I don't want to discard either of these. We're going to start with that Candy Trail. I feel like it's going to be a tempo play to bounce this Novelist. Oh, another food fight. All right, dude. That's what I'm talking about, huh? So, yeah, we want to draw that. We want to draw the food fight. That does that. Food fight comes to hand. So at what point do we want to play the burn down the house too? Really some tough decisions, huh? You could power up Foundry as well. Yeah, food fight comes down. Nothing's getting countered. I suppose we try to swing for 6 and keep everything open again. The main concept here, of course, to sacrifice that. Yeah, instead of buffing Novelist, I feel like keeping it open is going to be a little bit better here. Oh, but nothing sticking, huh? Nothing sticking. Okay, I will sacrifice this to food fight then. It's a good chunk of extra damage. We also could have into 11. I'm gonna decline because I really like burn down the house in hand right now. Anyway, so we could have sacrificed the treasure to sacrifice the Celestus, right? I don't think that would have been worth it. It would have been 1 extra damage on the Novelist, I believe. That's how that would have worked. Okay, Nissa coming down. They have a great opportunity to pop off here. But they need 4 mana for that. Okay. So more mana off the top. We could power up Foundry. Can actually hit the Nissa with the Celestus sacrifice. Actually, we could do the same thing with the Foundry too. The opponent's at 12 though. Why do we have so many tough decisions, man? Is it just burn down the house though? Maybe. Because if we just like keep swinging at this point, like no matter what, and like force block somewhere, then eventually we could just wrap it up with food fight too, and instead of like worrying about swinging in, for example. So luckily we got an extra Scoundrel through there too because of that full swing. Down to 8, and let's hope they don't gain too much here, because this is totally the type of deck that would have something on the top end, right? Yeah, I feel like maybe I'm overthinking this a little bit, trying to do something a little bit too cool when realistically we should just be slamming face every single turn. So maybe these devils should have come down like a turn or two ago instead of waiting and like setting up. But like the setup was pretty cool too. At this point as well, we'd really like to see more ways to... Oh my goodness, a very nice opponent. This is going to be cool. Not only does Nissa pop off this many times... Wait a minute. I could have prevented this by popping that Nissa, huh? They could have played a second one though. I'm going to click Resolve All. Well, hopefully we don't, like, die here or something. Because each of these gets sacrificed and they'll grab another basic, but they're potentially going to run out of basics as well, so... I don't know, it'd have to be something pretty wild because we are at 30 as well. We gained a whole bunch of life this game. Unfortunately for these ramp decks, I think I brought it up in... Maybe it was my Selesnya Humans video, where I never feel particularly scared, as it feels like there's always so much setup, but maybe that's because I've never seen their top end. Which we're about to, huh? They have 2 Gruul colors open with 15 green sources, so they could play like 2 Titan of Industries or something ridiculous, right? Virtue of Strength. Okay. That's probably troublesome. Oh, guys, and they're back up to 14. No worries, dude. Okay, first of all, we should not have let that Nissa survive. Also, they grabbed a second one there, too. World Souls Rage for 8. So they can go ahead and grab those lands back again. Oh, buddy. I don't know what's going to happen right now. Yeah, so was this Nissa already revealed to us last turn? Because I think they would have had enough mana to go ahead and play that second one again. All right, so we got to hit Resolve All. Opponent's kind of popping off right now with their combo. I wonder what we'll be able to do next turn to successfully deal, what, 20 damage? No, 19 damage. No, 20 damage. Guys, we're in trouble. They also want to give themselves a red source if they have another World Souls Rage, right? I'm going to make sure to do that. Looks like we might have gotten a little lucky here without 2 World Souls Rage. In other words, they would have been able to do that again, too. So it does look like they're completely out of basics as well. Pretty neat deck, opponent. This is actually the first time I'm seeing it do the thing. So it's actually nice to see. We can't let them, like, get their turn, because Virtue of Strength, like, if they were saving another World Souls Rage for their turn, then we'd be in danger, dude. Oh, no. They don't even have to tap the Analyst, guys. Spelunking? Dude, their turn is just going to go on and on. Actually, are they going to pass it? They did. They lost their extra open green sources. They decide, hey, we're at 20. I think we're safe. They go for the swing. Completely understandable there. All right. At some point, I could have sacrificed the Celestus, but, like, we need it to deal damage. Or like... And, like, Nissa number 2 just chilling there. Okay, research desk. Probably worthwhile seeing the top 2 over just taking out their analyst. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 9. Not quite there. I think it would be worthwhile seeing the top 2. Right? Maybe not. If we pop this, swing with our Mishra's Foundry as well, and then sacrifice everything, like Celestus first for extra damage there. This is a tough decision, man. What on earth? Okay. Okay. Maybe it's getting too late at night. Maybe I'm just overthinking this a little bit too much here. And then we would use the Celestus ability for mana, red mana, and then sacrifice it to hit face. And then power up Mishra's Foundry. 1, 2, 3. We'd bring back Research Desk. We'd have to have another 2 available when it came time, right? Is that really the best swing? No, not really. Right? Down to 4. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Was there a better way through there? This one's melting my brain, dude, because I do believe. Yep. Good game, opponent. All right. So, like, if we would have gotten rid of Nissa, it wouldn't really have mattered, especially that turn prior, right? Because the Virtue already came down, and they had the second Nissa, which I'm pretty sure they had the mana for. Very nice stuff, huh? Deck win rate overall was actually a 50%. Not too bad. And we had 2 test games before the video where the deck win rate was, in fact, 50% as well. I feel like I messed up this last game somewhere, right? Like there had to have been somewhere where we had a way through, and both of us had a pretty neat setup overall for our combo builds. Was there a way to get that 4 through? Like if we could have prevented 1 set of their life gain. No, see, the second Nissa could have come down. I'm trying to work that through. Because if on our turn, if we sacrificed... No, that's... Instead of like talking about it right now, that's one that I'm just going to have to go back and rewatch and then also read the comments to see what you guys say. Because, yeah, maybe it's because it's getting so late at night for me. But I don't know. That one was a really tough one to think through, huh? Here's the deck list again. Okay, guys. Wow. As far as like janky builds go, this actually feels like it can be relatively consistent for what it's trying to do. I actually really like that Food Fight is like our removal in a weird way, right? Like we're not always just saying like, oh yeah, like burn down the house off the top. That'll be the game winning card, like we usually say with these like red mid-range builds. Instead, like Food Fight. Yeah. Like we just don't mind seeing it. Like there was that one game where we wanted to see more, which we actually did dig down deep enough to find the burn down the house. So we did send the Food Fight to the bottom, but it still wasn't enough. We just flooded out way too much there. Sir Ginger, I would have loved to see you do more today, buddy. Maybe this isn't actually the deck for you, though. But at the same time, if we take out Sir Ginger, we definitely need something else that knows how to get artifacts onto the board. When we dropped the Scoundrel, it seemed pretty good to get the treasure token. Like the whole hasty creature theme working well with the Ognis. Ognis, buddy, where were you today, huh? Oh, man, do we want 4 of these, actually? Maybe. We definitely need to keep, like, the early removal, though, with the Voltage Surge, right? Is Voltage Surge on the chopping block just to opt for more ways to get artifacts onto the board? If we dropped like a burn down the house and go up a Skitterbeam Battalion too, that's like a way, like, you know, we had a lot of games where we could drop those devils, but there were a lot of other games where we would have just preferred artifacts, like that last game. Perfect example, dude. We dropped those triple devils. Skitterbeam Battalion would have been way better there, right? Oh yeah, dude, way, way better. We would have popped off with those artifacts easily. And they would have dealt more damage on that one swing. Actually, that probably would have been the game. I think we would have successfully had enough mana, especially with that Crime Novelist on the board, to sacrifice all 3 of those for an extra 9 damage, right? I think so. Oh man, that's something to consider. Guys, this is a tough one. Especially since as the evening went on, I feel like I got worse and worse at playing the list too. There's a lot of little things where a lot of one-ofs that I just can't say whether or not we can drop them, right? Magmatic Galleon, I think it's going to be worth the one of, I think. But like maybe we could drop that and go up the Skitterbeam. It's a similar concept though. Like Magmatic Galleon in and of itself is an artifact that also lets you dump more artifacts onto the board, like those treasure tokens, as you're removing the opponent's creatures. I don't know. I think the one ofs is worth it. And then the same concept with the Strongbull. We didn't get to see it, but there's going to be moments where actually having that ability pairing with that Crime Novelist could be really good. Overall, for a janky little combo build, I think it's going to be relatively consistent. Now, it's going to be relatively consistently janky, but you guys know what I mean, right? Definitely let me know in the comments, what would you add or take out? I actually think I'm going to keep the deck list as is. As much as I would love extra artifact generation, I think the only thing I can think of is dropping a burn down the house and going up a battalion, and I really don't want to drop the burn down the house. Or do I? Or do I? Okay, I think I will make that change. And that's solely based on that last game. That last game where if only we actually had more of the combo, which would have been the battalion at that point, where like burn down the house works well for like the board wipe side of things, and it combos well with Ognis. It doesn't work well with the artifact combo. That's battalion's job. Yeah, okay, now I'm satisfied. Going down the board wipe should be scary, and it might make it more janky, but now it might actually lead to more combo victories too, so I like that change. I think the mana base was fine. It definitely felt like a lot, but I do think you still want 26, especially when you can filter out with Scoundrel and whatnot. I know I call it filtering, even though it's technically not filtering, as the discard, if you have like an empty hand, you know, you don't have to discard. It's not like an additional cost, but I still consider it filtering. It is filtering with the Celestus though, huh? So speaking of Celestus, it's always just an MVP. I could totally see dropping the Irencrag and going up a second Celestus, and then worst comes to worst, since it's legendary, you can always just discard it to its own ability at some point too. So I could see double Celestus instead of the Irencrag, but an early ramp off of the Irencrag happens to be pretty decent too. And it's also like one that you don't mind sacrificing later on to like a food fight too, whereas like the Celestus, you're kind of like, I really don't want to sacrifice this, but I guess I will type of thing. So okay guys. Oh, and the Candy Trails were excellent. Love Candy Trail, dude. Such a cool card, and works really well in a food fight style build, especially with the Crime Novelist, huh? Okay, guys, hey, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Definitely check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. All right, I'll see you in the next video.